Hi and welcome everyone, every awakening and blissful soul. Today I have an article named The 10 States of God for you. The source belongs to Meher Baba. So if you want more information, you can search and learn more by the name Meher Baba. I put this article in the playlist of the Awakening Tips program because I want to emphasize to you all my viewers, listeners, and followers that in order to receive the messages from this article, it's not just general or superficial listening, but I want you to listen and think back and compare the states and the growth of your own soul. Hence, this is a technique, method, and secret that allow us to come back and explore ourselves and be able to develop and grow even more. If you are ready, let's get started and understand and crystallize it together. The 10 States of God. As explained in Meher Baba's teachings, outline the evolution of consciousness and the progressive realization of God. These states represent the various stages that the individual soul goes through on its spiritual journey towards full God realization. Let's explore each stage in detail. 1. God as the unconscious. In this state, God is unconscious of himself as God. It is the state of pure, undifferentiated, and manifested consciousness. It is comparable to a deep sleep where God exists in a state of absolute potentiality, unaware of his divine nature. It is the starting point of creation where God remains hidden within his own essence. 2. God as a semi-conscious. In this state, there is a slight stirring of consciousness within God, but it is not yet fully awakened. It is like the moment between sleep and waking, where God begins to have a faint awareness of his divine nature. However, this awareness is not yet fully developed, and God remains semi-conscious. 3. God as the dreamer. As God's consciousness continues to evolve, he enters the state of being the dreamer. Here, God begins to dream the creation of the universe. It is akin to a dream state where God's thoughts and desires give rise to the potentiality of creation. However, in this state, creation is still in a nascent, unmanifested form. 4. God as the awakening. In this state, God starts to awaken from the dream. He becomes more conscious of himself as a source of creation. It marks the beginning of self-awareness and self-realization. God's consciousness is no longer fully absorbed in the dream of creation. Instead, he becomes aware of his true nature as the creator. 5. God as the self-realized. In this significant state, God becomes fully conscious of himself as a supreme reality. He realizes his own divinity and recognizes his oneness with all of creation. God is now self-aware and has achieved self-realization. This state represents the pinnacle of spiritual evolution for the individual soul, where it merges into the divine self. 6. God as a perfect master. Once God attains self-realization, he takes on the role of the perfect master or the Satguru. The perfect master is a realized soul who guides other souls on their spiritual journey. God in this state becomes the embodiment of divine love and compassion, leading aspirants towards their own realization. 7. God as the Oversoul. In this state, God experiences himself as the Oversoul, which is the essence that permeates all of creation. God realizes that he is not separate from his creation, but exists within each living being and thing. He becomes fully aware of his presence in everything and experiences the unity of all life. 8. God as a universal mind. In this state, God experiences himself as the universal mind, the source of all thoughts and consciousness in the universe. God's awareness expands to encompass all mental processes and intellectual functions in the created world. 9. God as the infinite. In this state, God realizes his infinite nature, transcending all forms and limitations. He becomes fully aware of his omnipresence, omniscience, and omnipotence. God's consciousness encompasses all of creation and goes beyond any boundaries or constraints. 10. God as the beyond God. In this ultimate state, God transcends even the awareness of being God. It is the state of the Absolute, where God remains beyond all manifestations and identities. God becomes one with the formless, timeless, and eternal reality, beyond any concept or perception. The evolution of these 10 states of God is not a linear process, but rather an unfolding of divine consciousness. It is important to note that Meher Baba's teachings emphasize that these states are not limited to God alone, but are also reflected in the evolution of the individual soul. As souls progress on their spiritual journey, they move through similar states of consciousness, gradually realizing their own divine nature and unity with God. The ultimate goal is to attain the state of self-realization and merge back into the infinite and formless reality of God. Please subscribe, follow us, and press the notification bell on our Awakening Era channel and Baan Im-Supaga on every platform that we attached the names and links on our profile or in the description box. We have many programs, for example, fortune telling through cards and various divination tools, podcasts, tips, hypnotherapy programs, and self-improvement programs in various forms. Many clips and contents on our channel are in both English and Thai languages. Thank you for your kind support. We are appreciated that. Have an awakening and blissful day, and see you again soon.